Well, hello folks, this is Fat Guy Flies RC coming to you from the Fat Guy Flies RC studio and man cave and shop and whatever I need it for. Basically, plane storage. FMS is having their big Black Friday 2025 sale, and one of the planes they sent me out was this F-18. I've never had this one before. I've had a couple of their F-16 and their 64 millimeters, but this is the first F-18 in this size that they've ever sent me, and they want me to do a review for it for their Black Friday, and I'm like, okay, sure. So let's get into the box and we'll start putting this bad boy together. All right, she's 64 millimeter, like I said. She's got a 735 millimeter or 28.9 inch wingspan. She's 39.7 inches long. Flying weight with the suggested battery is 1,100 grams. She's got a brushless 2840 kV 3150, probably an outrunner, I'm sure. 40 amp ESC, 5 9-gram servos, probably plastic. Requires a 6-channel receiver, which I'm going to be using AR631 Spectrum receiver for. Center of gravity is going to be 45 to 55 millimeters back from the leading edge root. Now, they often say leading edge, but anytime you have an angled wing, that means leading edge root, wherever that wing touches the fuse. Okay, the EDF is a 64 millimeter ducted fan, 12 blade, and the recommended battery is a 2200 up to a 2600 with a minimum of 25C discharge. Now I recommend 40C or better, but not much more than, don't get like 120 or anything. About 40 to 60, maybe 80s is okay. But that's pretty much it right there. All right, let's go ahead and this is the high fidelity FA18 Hornet high fidelity version. And I had that whole thing upside down for you, didn't I, the whole time? All right, open it up. Now this doesn't have rudder control, but it does. It's your typical bank and yank, as in aileron, elevator, and throttle control. With throttle being your #1 control, no matter what. No matter what people say, throttle is your #1 flight control. Believe it or not. Okay. Well, I like the color. I will be giving this a clear coat of my polyacrylic mid-wax. Okay. Put my box over here. Okay. As you can see, everything is packed to where you could drop it off the back of a bus. So let me go ahead and take everything out of the styrofoam coffin, and we'll change our camera view. We'll be right back. Alrighty, we're back. As you're going to use the wing spar as a pointer. As you can see, you've got your different ordnance there. All your ordnance right there. You got your landing gear. You got some stickers you can put on the side. Pick what number of, I guess, whatever airfield it comes out of, what base. Your manual, both halves of your vertical stabilizers. You've got your, get the camera to cooperate, both sides of your wing, your little bag of nuts and bolts, your three drop tanks, your horizontal stabilizers back here, and of course your main fuse. Alright, hopefully that was coming out on audio. Probably quicker now when I put the mic. Alright, and of course you got your nose cone. Okay, and then here's the main fuse, as you can see. Very nice, got some debris on there, but see that fan up inside there. Okay, looks like it's got some, oh, that's just the end of the fan there. Okay. Alright, you do glue on your vertical stabilizers. That button right there. You can see the inside of your battery bay. Alright, let's get our stuff together and we'll start putting this bad boy together. Alrighty, we're back. Now, you're going to have to glue on both the vertical and the horizontal stabilizers. So we're going to start with our vertical stabilizers, or horizontal stabilizers, sorry. And you're going to want to test fit them first. Now you can see Obviously, the control horn is going to go the same side as the servo. But what I want to do is either I'm going to be scoring anything up, or I'm going to be gluing any foam to foam. I always want to kind of rough up the servo. Now, you can use a little bit of sandpaper or whatever you want to use. Okay, and the area that's going to just kind of give some more surface area for that glue to adhere to. Now, make sure that you're going to test fit that right off the bat. Make sure it fits in there nice and tight. So we can go ahead and take that back out. Okay, I'm going to put a little bead of glue in there. Okay, and then I'm going to run some around the edges where I made all them marks. Okay. This is just foam tack. It's actually the FMS white tube glue that you can buy on their website. Okay. Well, just let that settle down in there like that. And then I'm going to pull it back out. See, it gets kind of stringy. Back in one more time. Pull it back out. And now I'm going to put it in for the last time. Okay. Just take your finger. Make sure you always get glue on your fingers. Okay. You are not putting a model together if you do not get glue on your fingers. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. It's just, you just can't do it. I mean, it's just law. I don't make these rules. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't make these rules. But that's just the way it is. You got to get some glue on your fingers. Okay. And a little bit on the surface itself. All right. Okay. Now that's in there. Okay. Let them sit. Let's go ahead and dry fit our vertical stabilizers. Okay. Now they kind of have a little bit of wiggle to them. Okay. So what we're going to do, yeah, they got just a little bit of wiggle. Just a little bit. This is how they fit in there. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this off the plane stand for right now. All right. We're going to rough up our surfaces. Just kind of interrupt that flow. Okay, interrupt that paint a little bit. Okay, I'm going to take, I have my head in your way there, I'm sorry. Okay, then we're going to put some glue on the outside of it. Okay, and then we're going to let that settle down in there like that, and then we're going to let that can of spray paint just kind of lean up against it, just kind of support that. Make sure the decals are on the go outside. And that's already starting to get good and tacky. All right, that way just kind of let that lay against there for a few minutes. Okay, and we will pause for about 5-10 minutes and we'll come back. Okay, we're back. Got the tail feathers, everything all nice and secure, not going to come out now. So now we can concentrate on the landing gear. Okay, we're going to start with our main gear. Now these are going to go, this part is going to go towards the rear like this. Well, let me see how this is going to fit in here. Okay, it's going to fit in there just like that. Okay, and this is going to fit in here. Just like the way that is looks, that suggests the same way. So push that down there like that. And then you've got these color-coded plastic doublers or stoppers, braces, brackets, whatever you want to call them. Okay, and they only fit one way. They have a little bit of a subtle design to them. Oh, and just so you know, you need a 2mm hex drive tool to put the entire kit together. 2mm hex drive screws, like this. Okay, which is a very common size. And remember, the rule on that is get it nice and flush and bottomed out, and then just give like a half turn more. But if you start seeing foam or structure around it starting to crack or dent in, don't go any further than that. Like that, and like that. There, that's not going to come out of there. Take your other, color-coded or side. Little plastic stopper, doubler, whatever you want to call it. They only fit one way. They're kind of obvious how they fit. Okay. I sure hope this is coming out. Sometime I've had some audio issues and had to test and retest. I got like 9 takes of different parts, and it's like, all right. That's in there now. Okay, about half turn for good measure on each one of them. Okay, then we're going to turn our attention to the nose gear. Now the nose gear, a little bit different, and I'm sure you're going to need a 1/2-inch drive. Yeah, 1.5mm hex drive. Let me go get that tool real quick. Won't take me just a moment. Okay, you'll need a 1.5mm hex drive. 1.5. All right, you're going to see this grub screw right here. Okay, just reach in there, that tool. Okay, and just kind of loosen it up a little bit where it kind of hangs out. Don't take it all the way out, but just enough where it's out a little bit. Okay, now you're going to reach in there with your finger and see that pin starting to go in and out there. You want to take your finger and push up on it. There's a flat side there, okay? And that grub screw is going to key onto that flat spot, okay? All right, there, you can feel the resistance of the servo. Okay, now, because the way my plane stand is, we're going to have to change a little bit on this. Move this to, I'm going to have to do it a different way. Okay, let's go ahead while we're here and do another very complicated part of the build. It's very hard. We're going to add these bottom missiles. So you want to go ahead and score that area there up a little bit. Then you got to go crazy with it. Now these are missiles that glue on that are non-detachable, and they're kind of Where'd they go? Okay, it's these kind here. Okay, they're missing a fin on one side. Okay, and that fin is going to go. See how that is coated there? How they're color coded. This one's going to go in here like that. Obvious. Okay. Go ahead and get her some glue there. Now, if you're planning on belly landing this, then I don't suggest you adding these. But that's entirely up to you. I have a runway, so I plan on using the runway. It doesn't take much glue for this. It's a very light part. Get it in there, let it get stringy. Back there, make sure you get plenty of glue on your fingers, because that's just the way it is. Okay, put a little glue. Don't get my head in your way there. Okay, it's going to be like that. So just like that. Now see, that was very complicated. That was laborious, complicated. Okay. Turn our attention now to another very hard and laborious part of the task, and it's the ever horrible nose cone. Now the black decal part goes to the top, toward the top of the plane. That was horrible. Okay. All right, now let's go ahead and take our plane off of our fuse off of our plane stand here. Okay. We're going to lose our wings, or lose our wings. We're going to lose our plane stand for just a moment. Okay. We're going to put our plane on there. All right. Now we're going to have two connections per wing. Okay. One, your black and white, or your black and red, is a signal wire or a power wire for the light, and the other one controls the aileron. Remember the servo, the dark and the black, or the brown and the red, is always going to be your positive and negative, and then the yellow or white wire is your signal wire. That's what that tells the servo what to do. All right, and you're going to take 4 of these screws to screw in your wing, and don't forget your wing spar. Okay, so let's grab our wing spar, which is over here. Okay, we're going to slide that in, just like that. Okay, I'm going to pull out my and grab my little needle nose pliers. Okay, you've got two of these. It doesn't matter which one you hook it up to. They both work the same. Okay. All right. Got them both hanging out there. See, so you're going to have all this stuff kind of hanging out. All right. Really, I am going to have to put this back on the plane stand, but I'm trying to. Yeah, those. I think will be okay. Actually, let me change plane stands for just a moment. Yeah, I got my customizable plane stand. Hold on just a moment. So I'll have to remember to pause this part of the film. All right. Alrighty, we're back. Have to remember this. Okay, what I like this is because I can change these plane stands back and forth. Okay, change how they're positioned. Okay, because I need these elevators to hang off, and the rudders to kind of hang off there. Okay. All right. So now I'm not in any danger of the rudders getting caught or anything like that. So now you're here. So now we can put our wings on. Okay. This very obvious. The side that shows the servo is going to be your downside, or the bottom of the wing. Okay. Okay. We're going to hook up your servos. Remember, anytime you're hooking up a servo lead, it's always going to, I know you can't see because the gear is in the way, but you're always going to hook that up light to light, dark to dark. And with these lights, okay, the black wire, or the negative wire, is going to line up with your brown wire or your black wire on your servo. Line those up, and you'll feel it kind of lock into place. Okay. There. And that's how that side should look. Oh no, the wheel's in the way. I'm sorry. If I tilt it up a little bit, maybe you can see it. Okay, just remember, light to light, dark to dark. If you always remember that rule, you'll never have a problem. Light to light, dark to dark, whether it's yellow, it's a yellow wire or a white wire, black wire or a brown wire, light to dark is always going to save the day. Okay. Fish your wires in there. Don't want any wires to get hung up. Okay, make sure all them wires fit neatly into that hole. Okay. All right. Now, you should have at this point 3 screws. Well, you're going to have 4 or 5 actually, but you're going to use 4 on each side. You should have 5 of these screws now. 5 of these kind of screws. And then you're going to have 1 left over. Because FMS is really good about providing. Probably should have put the wing on before I put that missile on there, but oh well. Too late now. Don't press too hard, because remember, I can't press too hard because I got my hand underneath there because of my tail feathers there. They're freshly glued. Okay. It's just better if you can just support things with your hand underneath. This is going to look really good in the air, I can tell you that right now. Okay. Turn them all around. Sorry about the beep. That is just my battery that I'm going to be doing my setup with is done. Okay. Okay. Line that up, that puppy up in there. Okay. Remember, light to light. Now sometimes there'll be paint on there, so you're going to have to scratch it off with your fingernail, but as long as you can tell the colors, you'll be okay. Light to light, dark to dark is always the rule. I know I keep saying that, but I'm trying to burn that into your brain. Light to light, dark to dark. Always saves the day, because if you don't do it, you're going to notice it first time you fire the model up. You're going to think, how come that servo there doesn't work? How come that's not working? Stupid servo, bad company, crappy model. No, you just didn't hook it up right. Yes, yes, yes. All right, come on, get in there. It's important that you don't crimp any wires, okay? There, that's in there. And looky there, you got a CG mark right there. Just like any time you put a screw in, get it nice and bottomed out. Then get a little half turn, tighten it up. If you start hearing anything crack or anything denting in, you've gone far enough. Don't go any further. Yeah, for next time, if you put this together, put your wings on before you put them missiles in. Okay, that's in there. We can now, while we're here, let's go ahead and put our missiles on. Just because we can. maybe. There we go. These are the flat side, go to the outside of the wing. Okay. And your drop tanks here, the ones that have the decals, they go to the outside or the aft furthest point out on the wing so you can see them from the side. Okay. Just like this. See, that's going to be that way. Okay. And the big drop tank that has nothing on it goes in the middle. And I think it goes right up here. Pretty sure that the side that's got the rings on it go towards the rear of the plane. Nope, goes toward the front. Yep, just like that. All right, let me get my other missile on there. Okay. Maybe. Doing this blind right now. Well, dang it. Hold on. I'm going to have to do this like this to where you can see what I'm doing. Okay. There, just like that. Okay, that's on there now. All right. It's a good looking model right here. All right, let's change our camera views. And we'll be right back. All right, we have our missiles on there. We have our drop tanks on there. We've got our nose cone on there. The only thing missing now is the front nose, the canopy. And that, the only thing I'm going to be doing next is putting one of these numbers. You know what, for right now, I'm probably going to leave the numbers off. If I do put a number on there, it'll be number 7 for God's perfect number. But for right now, I think we're going to leave that alone. You got suspension in that front gear. Okay. Yes, I know I don't have the ailerons or the elevators hooked up, but I'm going to come back. We're going to do a radio setup, and I'm going to show you how to set up thrust reverse. A lot of people still have a hard time with thrust reverse, okay? And if you have a model and off the throttle lead, there's a yellow pigtail, 99% of the time, that means you have thrust reverse. And with these more reputable companies, FMS, E-Flight, these big companies make these models, arrows and all, when they have that kind of and some of the Hobby King stuff, you have the ESCs already programmed to it. All you got to do, plug it into a switch, assign it to a switch, and put on your momentary and all the free wing stuff. It automatically works. But we're going to show you how to do that, okay? All right, so hang tight. That is the unboxing build. This will be a standalone video, and this is of the FMS F-18 Hornet, part of their Black Friday sale. FMS, thank you so much for the plane for review. I can't wait to get it in the air. And God bless y'all. God is good. And don't forget, folks, faith, family, and friends, and then F-18s. Bye-bye.